Hello.
How you doing today?
Good. Just got done watching Beverly Hills. In my opinion, it was a great episode. Um, it's Thursday, it's pre-Friday. I have to say, to me, Potomac and Beverly Hills are ramping up, and I really wasn't expecting it.
Okay. First of all, welcome everybody to the commentary
Right?
zone.
And
We
replay crew.
appreciate, yes, we appreciate you for joining us today for this housewife roundup. As you come into the room, please don't forget to give us a thumbs up. Hit the subscribe button, notification bell. Most importantly, tell a friend. Catch us on social media. Okay. You said that Beverly Hills is ramping up. It's episode 13. I won't give it that.
I have to.
I'll give Potomac a ramp up at
Well, I mean,
episode 6.
it's ramping up because it's finally getting to the meat of the storyline because it's like they did this whole build up for and it didn't need that much. You could remember we discussed like how it felt they were in Tahoe for like months. That
That's
was like
because
what
nothing
four?
was happening. Yeah.
That was like 4 episodes. So it
hmm
was like we really only needed. You could cut out two of those episodes. And then they did the Erica filler episode where they were leading into Erica. I mean, I wonder. Here's the thing: if this is episode 13,
Yeah.
I wonder how many episodes this is. This
And
season is.
that's why I refuse to say that it's ramping up. I think you said it yourself. They could have cut out the first 6 or 7 episodes and just got given us this.
Right.
Because nobody cared. I love Sutton, and I'm getting to know Crystal, but nobody cared about their drama when it was happening. It was borderline frustrating. Anywho, all right. So today, of course, ladies and gentlemen, we will be going over the Real Housewives of Potomac, the Real Housewives of New York City, and the Real Housewives of Beverly Hills. Let's go to Potomac first. This is season 6, episode 6, Land of the Free, Home of the Shade.
Let's go character by character.
Yeah, but I'm just going to preface it with this. I don't like the path they're going down with Giselle and Robin against Wendy. I'm not the biggest Wendy fan, but I don't like what happened over that dinner. I don't like how Giselle talks to her friends.
Right. So let's just start with Robin and Giselle. Get that out the way. I agree with you. I am not a fan of people talking about other people's marriages when they're not in the room and you're supposed to be friends. Because we're getting the same storyline with Robin and Giselle. And my thing is that I think we need to stop trying to think of them as friends of anyone except each other.
And not even, because you saw what Giselle said to Robin at the table. And the thing is, like, to me, she totally devalued her when she said, no man's going to marry someone that they think is unattractive, when she had just said right before that her kid was failing English. Like, is that your priority for a woman to be married? And if so, why aren't you? Like, I don't get it. And what's her name? Karen said, that's not how I treat my friends. When I see that they're in crisis, I try to uplift them. And she just like stepped on her. And then then I fell back and I was like, wait, wasn't she a first lady of the church? Don't people go to her for counseling? Is this what she does? And this is her friend? I didn't understand that at all. Maybe I read it wrong. Maybe I interpreted it wrong. But I didn't like how they were basically like, when Robin said loose, I was like, wait, my my mother's like definition of loose is like a harlot,
Right.
a loose woman. When was Professor Wendy with 4 degrees ever loose? Like, they're
Right.
not giving me examples of this loose behavior. They're only going, they're bringing up her enhancements and her clothing, but that doesn't make Wendy.
No, and not at all. They're trying to. Here's the thing. This is the way I'm taking these two. They're tr- they're trying to paint Wendy as not being who she is. They're trying to paint a narrative like, oh, this is what's going on in your home. Like, you're trying to do this. You got this new body because you're not that happy at home, and there's really something going on there. It's like they're trying to devalue her in some way. That's the only word I can really come up with at this time.
But they're also behaving as if they've known this woman her whole life. They only met her last year, right?
Exactly.
So they didn't know her before her first baby, where she might have been dropping and popping, or whatever the hell they was saying, about her. Um, you're different when you're a single person versus a newlywed without any children versus a person who has
Mhm.
3 children. I like Wendy's explanation, like, uh, my clothes don't define me. I can still dress this way and feel confident in myself and still be a professor and still, commentate and still have my degrees. They don't define me. And I was just very confused by their argument. I was not confused by what Wendy was saying because it made absolute sense. These people really don't know her. They're work associates. And I thought it was dead wrong how they approached her. And then when they came in with the okey doke, it just seemed like it's all a setup to bring up the gossip about her husband, even though all of them are saying, you have heard this gossip, but I don't believe it. Well, if you don't believe it, why do you keep bringing it up?
Or if you're concerned, go to Wendy. Here's what they're mad about, and this is just my personal opinion. They are mad because Wendy is now friendly or friends with Karen. That's my personal opinion. Because when Karen and Wendy had issues, they were all here for Wendy. Like, yeah, Wendy, blah blah blah. We like me some Wendy. I love Wendy. Da da da. Now they know that Karen and Wendy are friendly or friends. They do not like it. Because
I,
remember, that's really why they don't like Mia that much because she's Karen's friend.
I also think, oh dear, what did I touch? I also think that there's a little jealousy playing in here because she still has a husband.
Hmm.
She got her mommy makeover.
She looks fantastic.
And yeah, um, did I think the bustier was a little too small? Yeah. I think she could have went a size
Yeah,
up.
she's a
But
little
you
too
know
small.
what? Once the mammaries settle, because it's going to take a little time, she's still fresh. But once they settle, she'll be fine. I
Yeah.
mean, I don't see anything wrong with that. And then
Nope.
when Mia jumped in and was like, well, you wouldn't see Michelle Obama did that. What Michelle Obama and Oprah got to do with her situation?
Right.
And then
The,
I swear, did you ever watch the after Obama left the White House, MSNBC had like a 2 or 3 hour thing on his presidency, and there was a part in there about Michelle Obama and how much she had to change in order to not derail his efforts at campaigning to get into the White House, and like how much she had to change who she was as first lady, to be the first lady. Like, all of us have to do that no matter what stage in life. Like, when I go to work, I have to be something different. I can't go and be a cuss box, like,
hmm
we all have to conform to different norms in different situations.
Right.
And I didn't get what Mia was saying. Like sometimes, just when I think I'm like beginning to like her, I then go, oh wait, what? And I start reevaluating again. I know I jumped characters. I'm sorry.
No, no, I get it. It's just here's the thing, and I've always said this: when people have nothing going on in their lives of substance, they tend to pick on people who do, and I
Mm-hmm.
think that's the case with um Robin and Giselle. I mean, Robin, you have a business that's picking up. Why aren't you focused on that? How and with Robin, like if you have a people, I know people who own businesses.
Mm-hmm.
They can't afford to do what Robin does and lay in
For
bed until
real.
noon.
For
Like the
real.
business owners I know, they're generally in the office no later than 7, and they
Mm-hmm.
generally don't leave earlier than 7. So their day is generally 12 hours. So for
Mm-hmm.
her, I mean, I'm like, well, how are you sleeping until noon, and your kids have school and you have a business,
It makes me wonder how successful her business is.
and y'all quote unquote trying to build a house.
Yeah,
That
who's
that
managing that?
the stories aren't adding up for me with Robin and Giselle. We haven't seen her do anything outside of this show. I'm just saying.
Well, she did one thing, but it got liquidated.
Yeah, which AKA you ain't got it no more. Um,
Oh wait, hold on. Did we click
yeah,
on it at the same time? Sorry.
we did.
Mm-hmm.
Laura says, in my opinion, there's a lot of jealousy going on there, especially with regards to Wendy and her accomplishments, along with having a family, especially a loving husband,
Mm-hmm.
until otherwise proven wrong. Exactly.
I thought so too, especially where Giselle is concerned. Because did you notice, like, she has something to say about everybody's relationship
Relationship.
until Escala question about hers, and she's like, "Oh no, I'm not commenting on that with trolls here, trolls here." You can't have it both ways if you're on a show like this.
Right. Because
You
Karen
just
called that out
can't.
real quick.
Mm-hmm. And I'm really beginning to like Escala
I think that a scholar needs to replace Robin.
and Giselle. She has enough fashions to do it. Let's just call a thing a thing. All the ladies look lovely. I don't know
All
what,
that book.
like, that rose bush that showed up in the place of Giselle, and then I don't even know. Maybe it's Robin's hairdo that's really messing up what she's wearing for me,
Could
because I
be.
I don't like the hair. Like I normally like Wendy's braids. I think are cute.
It's because they're done. It's because they're. I think those are either singles or micros. That's why.
But
Robin has the thicker braids, which if you
yeah, but
don't
it's
have,
just coming. It's very depressing.
well, it's because they're the thicker braids. So they with Robin's features, they just don't play as well.
I'm wondering if they had braided them back so it would lift up her face.
You mean
I think
start
it
the
would have
braid?
looked.
You talking about start the braids? He actually start braiding and go back and have it fall
Yes, but I
versus
mean,
fall to
like,
the side. I
from
know what you mean.
here, yeah, like, like almost doing a mini facelift and lifting the face up. I think the direction of the braids are key for me,
Hmm.
because it gives me the impression with those braids just going down. It seems very frumpy to me, and it's not complimenting her. She's a beautiful girl. She
Stunning.
is a stunning woman. And I just think it's all in the directions of her of the braids. I think if it was going back and the face was being lifted up and those cheekbones were being accented, I would have loved it a lot more. And she could have worn a paper bag, and I'd have been like, Robin, you look okay.
Yeah, because Robin's a stunning woman. Like, if you put
Mm-hmm.
Giselle and Robin side by side, I look at Robin always
Mm-hmm.
because
Mm-hmm.
Robin's just that beautiful. It's just
Oh,
go ahead.
no. I have a shady moment from the production team. Okay. We were still talking about, Giselle's beauty will never fade. But you notice every time they flash back to that, she looks amazing when she was making that comment. And then you look at her now. 6 years, no, the 4 years have not been kind.
Hmm. But Trey brought up a very good point.
Mm-hmm.
Robin's appearance is mirroring her mood. She doesn't care.
Oh, but
That's
her
a very
hairdresser
good.
didn't have to care either.
It's a whole with women from one. It's a whole look. You just one thing with men, we can get away with like a nice shirt, jacked up pants, and questionable shoes, and we'll be okay. Women, it's a whole look.
I don't
It's
know.
everything has to work together.
I feel bad for Robin. I really do. Um, Escala again, got to give her props because she said, I've had depression and a lot of things that you're saying speak
Hmm.
of depression, and then she was very constructive by saying, are you like seeking help? Not just a life coach, but maybe therapy as well. Um, I, I liked her.
She has good insights.
Yeah, maybe it's just a fresh opinion.
I
Maybe
think she's
we
she's a
can call,
thoughtful though.
but wait,
She's
maybe we can rename this one if we get more women from the African continent in and call it Real Housewives of Africa and just get like a whole buffet from different countries, maybe.
that'd be interesting. I have to look this up. 'Cause I want to know what the African community is like in the DMV area. I'm just curious. But I do like a scholar. She's fitting in well. She has very good insights, and she's not for the pettiness. You could tell she cuts that
Hmm.
off right away.
When she was in between, wait, during the first argument where she was in between Karen and Giselle, she's like, "Oh my god, we just got off the bus and I'm trying to enjoy my salad and I'm literally right in between you two combating. I thought we were supposed to be on vacation."
Mm. Right? She remember later she said, "I'm comfortable." When they were going at it again, she's like, "I'm uncomfortable. Just I'm physically between you."
Mm-hmm.
I'm like, I'm not mad at her.
I like her a lot. Um, I don't get the impression that her and Robin are real friends, though.
No,
Okay, I thought it was just me.
a casual
Um,
acquaintance at best.
when you say casual acquaintances, you mean production brought her in one day and said, "Robin,
Or
her call time is at your warehouse. Can you please be early?"
no, something more along the lines of a Dennis and Simon situation where they know each other through business or something, and Rob they just happen to be together,
Mm,
something like that. Like the husbands are probably friends off camera, and like, oh, this is my wife. Oh, she's cool. Hey, nothing deep.
okay. I agree with you, Shady. A scholar should replace Robin. I think Robin and Giselle have had their time, but for some reason, Bravo likes Giselle. So of the two, I think it's bye to Robin. I don't think there's anything that she can do to bring herself back at this point. I think it was a lucky stroke that Monique didn't come back because that's how she still had a job this season.
Hmm.
Um, I do think it's very brave of her to say a lot of the things and film a lot of the things that she's doing because last year was a mental health challenge for a lot of people and it's
Right.
carried into this year.
Hmm.
And she is showing that it's okay to talk about it
Right.
and to get help, hopefully.
Exactly.
Yeah. Who else? Anything else with the what Tweedle and Twaddle as Candace called them?
No, we're good. You
I
want to go on
like
to
that
Wendy?
those names. Wendy, yes. He
Mm.
he he.
I mean, here's the thing with Wendy. I do think, we've had enough of happiness. They're great. We love them. You look
Mhm.
fantastic. Do we think there's something going on with you? Yes, because she's to me she's just lost. Like it just seems like she's done what she quote unquote has been supposed to do all
Mhm.
her life, and now like she's had, the third child. She's questioning like does she still want to do what she wants to do. I think she's just trying to find out what she really wants to do for herself versus doing it for
Mhm.
other people. And I think that's where her business came from. Honestly, I think she started the
Mhm.
candle business or home goods business because she wanted to do something that she wanted to do. And now that she's doing what she wants to do, like, the mommy makeover, the candle business, people don't know how to take that because, like, oh, you're not doing what we expect of you or what you're supposed to do. So
Mm-hmm.
it's throwing everyone into a tizzy. I'm like, well, no, she's in the prime of her life right now. If
Mm-hmm.
you want to do something and make a change, go ahead and do it because you're not as happy with your current situation as you were. And that's okay. You should want to change and evolve and grow. Don't knock somebody for doing that.
Okay. In my opinion, what Ray told Giselle about her looks, it has come to room for both her and Robin. Period. Time has not been on their side with regard to the looks. Well, I mean, am I the same young, vivacious gal I was 10 years ago? No.
But I think what Laura's saying to us to
Yeah.
Ray's like you need to like basically what Ray told her is like he's like look, you need to find somebody ASAP because your looks is fading,
Mm-hmm. The
and pretty much
clock
he
is
told her
ticking.
and pretty much what he told her the looks is all you have.
Mm-hmm.
You have nothing else to offer.
But he said it in a
That's what he
very
said.
kind way. Yeah,
He did
yeah.
but that's what he was saying.
Mm-hmm.
That's exactly what he was saying.
Oh
So
Lord. Kelly,
I
we
I,
getting to
I agree with
Beverly
Laura.
Hills. We getting to Beverly Hills. We
So
gotta
I
save
agree
the
with Laura.
best for last.
So I agree with Laura.
Yeah. Um,
So what do you think about Wendy?
Wendy, okay. At the end, the last was it the last scene with just her and Karen, and she was in the white, and Karen told her, "You're a little covered up today. If you are dressing for her, go on back upstairs and dress for yourself." And then she said that it really hurt what Giselle said about her lacking substance. I was almost buying it. I really was almost buying it. And then what you said earlier,
Hmm.
I then thought that maybe she was hurt because they now turned on her and she wasn't in with the in girls because she was now relegated to the other quarters. Like, I think it
Hmm.
all came home to her at that moment, and that's what hurt her the most. Like, her friends were turning on her. And so I'm
Right.
conflicted with why. I want to believe her. I want to.
Hmm.
But, a little flag goes up.
Oh, of course, always.
I'm so negative.
No, it's not negative. It's just like you have to look at every. This is what we. Here's the thing. This is what we do here. Like we look at all angles and try to say, hey, what do we see and what's plausible, and that's just what it is.
Yeah. She's asking hard questions in my
Yes.
book. Yeah, yeah, that's very, very true. And it's catching Giselle off guard because I think she expects friends to just come and sit and look pretty and not say anything. But Escala's opening her mouth, which I appreciate because I was complaining about that on Dallas.
Yes.
And yes, Shady, I did like that scene with Karen and Wendy, and it did show the difference between how friends support one another.
Right. But it's interesting. This is a good segue to Karen because Karen's counsel.
Mm-hmm.
She gives counsel whether she's known you 5 minutes or 5 years,
Mm-hmm.
and I say that because the scenes with Karen and Wendy, she knew what Wendy was doing. She knew what Wendy was doing by dressing the way she was dressing, and she let
Mm-hmm.
her know like not to do that.
Mm-hmm.
She was able to lift Wendy's spirits in a tough moment,
Mm-hmm.
and they've only known each other for 2 years.
Mm-hmm.
Contrast that with Giselle, how she treated Robin. You can see why Karen and Giselle clash so much. It's because Karen believes in uplifting anyone who needs it,
Mm-hmm.
not tearing them down. So
Yeah.
I just found that a very sharp contrast. Like if Karen, who hasn't known Wendy that long could really just lift her up. Wendy, I'm thinking about, but Giselle can't do the same. It really makes me look at Giselle on even a more scrutinizing way, and I can see more of the divide between the two because the two are such different people and their values are so different and the way their thought processes are so different. Karen last season said, "F the cameras, I'm going to do me," and she said this. She said this in somebody's interview last year.
Mm-hmm.
Giselle is still playing to the camera and to the show. Karen is taking the Lisa Vanderpump approach. It's like I'm
Mm-hmm.
gonna just do me. I don't need this check. I'm going to say what I gotta say and do what I gotta do.
Mm-hmm.
Monique did the same thing. Giselle's playing to the show, to the cameras because she basically needs this check.
Mm-hmm.
So it's just now that we've come to that, it's interesting that that scene made me really look at that whole picture in these scenarios
Mm-hmm.
because I just always dismissed Giselle like, oh, this is just a show, this is your job, whatever. Now I'm seeing like the need, like she needs this. Like when you keep doing these same things over and over, you really need this check because when you don't need something as bad, you're more apt to be free
Mm-hmm.
and just say what you have to say and do what you gotta do. So I appreciate Karen for that.
Mm-hmm. And Montana says, I should it should be just women supporting women. And I want to know what you ladies and gentlemen in the chat think. Like when you saw that scene between Karen and Wendy, like I felt good watching that scene. I really did. I thought it was genuine. And it then took me to think back like when they're arguing and carrying on and cutting each other off at the knees and insulting each other. Like, how constructive is that
Mm-hmm.
for us as viewers, but for also for us as women?
I
Like,
agree.
you know, I much prefer the scene with Karen. Do I like a little messiness? Yes. But do I
Mm-hmm.
need it all the time? Like at some point, these shows have to get around to showing women supporting women
Right.
and not have everybody like stabbing each other in the back and stuff like that.
And I've also known Karen just supports everybody.
Mm-hmm.
Karen like wants to support everyone.
Mm-hmm.
She may not like Giselle, but I think if Giselle opened up another business, she would support just because she's that type of person. Like she's, I'm just enjoying Karen.
Mm-hmm. Okay, so in my opinion, Laura says, in my opinion, until Comcast and Bravo decide that Andy Cohen no longer needs to be here, produce, be a producer, we're going to continue to see the same types of things that we've seen on the last 5 years. Oh, yeah. Oh dear. It was January Debbie. Oh, yeah, yeah. It is a shame. It seems like we've gotten so used to the cutthroat that a truly genuine scene was very refreshing. That dinner verified for me that the Green Eye Bandits friendship is one sided. Yes,
Most definitely, most definitely.
yes. Same could be said about. Oh, yeah, yeah. Oh, yeah, yeah. Okay. If Giselle was getting jumped, I believe Robin would jump in. But if the roles were reversed, I think it would be quite different. Oh, yeah.
No, Giselle would literally run away, calling security
I
as
don't
she's
think she'll
running
call
away.
security. I think she would say, "Oh, I didn't see that happen. I thought you tripped."
Okay, I
I
was
think
trying to
that's what she
help
would
the child
say.
out.
No, she all of this. No, she go, "Girl, I thought you tripped. You could have picked yourself up."
Right. I'm gonna do Mia next.
Yeah.
So for me with Mia, there wasn't much this episode, right?
Mm-mm.
She was just kind of just there.
Well, she talked to her husband and her kid, and kid went poopy on her own, and she was trying to do emails, and
That was just pretty much right.
and then the comment at the table.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
Next.
Uh-huh.
Um, Ashley and Michael. Michael just is the gift that keeps on giving. He just shaded Robin all the way. I'm like, sir. I mean, leave Robin alone. He's like,
But
he's
didn't
like, I
he
told
say
you.
they weren't gonna get married? They still
He did.
haven't.
He saw it's not. He saw it's not happening. He's all they're married yet. He's all the pandemic is like a reason, but
Yeah,
oh,
because
oof,
he said something like, if a man wants to marry someone, he's gonna.
he's gonna. He's all the pandemic may be some like a pandemic may be a convenient excuse,
Excuse, yes.
but okay.
I love him. But wait, hold on. So Dean, when she goes to Williamsburg, because that's what she drops it on him after the picture taking session,
Which was
she's
hilarious when she
going
did
for
it
the
though.
day.
That was hilarious.
It, it was. It
He didn't know what
was.
to do. He didn't know what to do. He's like, what? He wanted to say, what do you mean? He's like,
I
oh, it's okay.
know. I know. It was crazy. But she's like, okay, so Dean's gonna be with the nanny. I can't remember her name. I'm sorry. Dean's gonna be with the nanny. Um and you'll be with Dylan or something like that. And he's like, "Oh, I'll just take him to work with me." Listen, I nearly fell. I nearly fell when he said that. I was like, "Wait, what? That child just came out.
Right.
Wait,
But what killed me, he said, I got 5 women who will be more than
yes,
happy to. I'm like, what? I'm like,
you're gonna
okay,
have these
sir.
strangers around you. I mean, they're not strangers, but they're
Strangers,
they're
but yeah.
strangers. And this is a newborn baby in the age of C19. I was just like, wait, what? Wait, real wrong.
And she looked at him like, what? That was a funny scene though.
I was hard like yeah. Can't he stay home that day?
He could, but it's just the things that he said. You'd be like, what? What? I got, so it just took me out. He's like, it was nothing. I got 5 women. They'll help me out. I was like,
That
what?
would be more than happy to take care of him. I was like, how do you know that?
Right.
Like, if anybody brought their kids to work and they were like, oh, Debbie, can you just like hold this kid while I go attend a meeting? I'd be like, wait, what? No, I got work to do. Unless it was super, super cute and not drooling.
And you have the playpen set up, and they can lay right there. I'm
Yeah,
all
and
about playpen. I'm all about playpen and putting the baby sleep good.
no, we didn't. Babies came to visit, but they were never like an all day thing.
It was rare. And
Unless it
the,
was bring your kid to school day, but they never brought babies. It was like a
yeah,
school age kid.
right.
So you didn't have to worry about somebody, reaching out for your teat.
Right. Come here.
I know.
You look viable. Come here.
Especially if the kid was 4 years old, like Michael from Nigeria on 90 Day. 9
Mm-mm.
years old and breastfeeding. Okay, now. All right. So, wait, did you pick up on Giselle referring to the cottage as the servants' quarters, the service quarters?
Yep.
Those little comments that she was making, I wasn't liking that at all.
Nope.
However, the emotional vibe at the cottage is way better than at the
Way
big
better.
house.
Way better.
It might not be the same decor style, but the emotional vibe at the cottage, I much prefer.
Mhm.
Yeah. Who's next?
I think all we have left is the Candace, right? Yeah.
Candace.
So I'm gonna say this. Shout out to Candace for doing what a hostess should do. They
Mm-hmm.
was doing too much, kept going. She stood up and said, "Look, this is y'all can get past this. Y'all need to
Mm-hmm.
take this away from us. Try to hash it out. If you
Mm-hmm.
can't, you agree to disagree and you walk away."
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
And I'm like, but what happened? How you gonna be the voice of reason? What? She was the
Excuse me.
mature outside of Scala. She was the most mature out of that group at that point in time, because it's her trip and she wanted to end, and she was right.
you know, there are parts of Candace that are likable. And they came out in that scene
Mm-hmm.
where she doesn't seem like the immature, spoiled child that she is most times. She has a nice little shady mouth that can be appreciated in confessionals. You know, it's just like for me, she's done a lot more damage where I am now just I can appreciate when she is being a rational adult, but do I like her? No, not so much.
True, I can see that. And I like seeing her. She was still rehearsing while she was on vacation. Like she seems to be. It's interesting. She seems to be more focused on what she's got going on than being in the mess this season.
I
She seems way more absorbed into what she's got going on. Because
in
in the
mhm.
past, she would jump into situations that didn't have nothing to do with her. This time, she spoke her mind because she is the hostess of the trip, and that's her right. But she like, I got school. I'm trying to get my career off the ground. My husband's trying to
Mhm.
manage me. I got. She's the one who like she kind of realized like, let me just focus over here because they got enough mess going on over there.
In my head, how I see this and her appearances on this season so far is that she is trying to parlay her role off of this show into something else in the hopes of getting off of this show. And I think she has set in her head an expiration date.
Hmm.
And she's trying to get that ball rolling now. So is her focus on this show 100% like other people? No,
Mm-mm.
because she doesn't have as much screen time as some of the others. And when we do see her, it's in nothing scenes. Like her in this, I don't want to say that it's nothing scenes, but they're by herself. She's not
Hmm.
interacting with other women. So she's in the studio singing. She is on the deck doing the rehearsals, the dance rehearsals for the video. She is sitting at the table trying to study. Like things like that, that to me are filler just to give her character substance. But do I feel like her whole 100% attention is on this show? No, she's trying to parlay it to something
Right,
else.
but it's smart of her
Mm-hmm.
because if she's like, if I don't have to, if I can film myself doing my own thing, people see what I'm really doing, what I'm about. She she's trying to get as far away from last year as possible.
Mm-hmm.
That's pretty much what it is, and I'm not mad at her for that. And it's a maturity that she's needed because has she? Because no one's gonna hire you season after season, you all up in other people's mess. Nah, no. You out here trying to get your masters. You're trying to get your career off the ground. Focus on that. I like seeing things like that. When she has a little mouth and she's being a little petty, okay, cool. But to be in the dog mess like some of the other cast when got nothing going on, baby, mm-mm.
But in saying everything that I just said, I'm also wondering if she's trying to limit her time interacting with others.
Yes, agreed. Montana says last year Candace learned about lack of job security, so she is moving to different avenues while she still has this platform. 100% agree, and is a very
Oh,
smart move.
mm-hmm. Hey, Heidi. Hey, Alex and Dina Ray. Okay, so who's next?
We're done. She's the last one.
Oh, okay. And that was the show. Was there anything else on here that was noteworthy?
On this one, no, it was a solid episode. I mean, it's the precursor for our next episode.
Okay.
Hold on
All
a second.
right.
It looks like Alex and Deanna have a question.
Uh-huh. I got a question.
Hi, Alex and Deanna. Go ahead. What's your question before we move on?
Is it true Housewives of Dallas? Technically, well, yes and no. Bravo doesn't really cancel anything. They just haven't, they're not going into production for another season.
Yeah, that's one of the stories we're gonna be covering this weekend. From what I've read, to give you guys a quick overview, what I've read, um, it's not officially canceled. Like Miami was canceled. What they
No,
said
Miami
was
wasn't canceled. They
no,
never
Miami was
officially canceled it.
no, they canceled it.
They're retracting that. They're saying like that they never officially, like Bravo never officially fires or cancels anything.
Let's see. Uh,
Because I think I read
okay,
something about that for up to yesterday.
so this was last year. This is an article
Hmm.
from last year, April 19th, 2020. Andy Cohen reveals real reason Miami was canceled. This is why I was said it was. This is why I was pretty much adamant why it was saying it was canceled. Andy Cohen explained why the Real Housewives of Miami was canceled on Friday as he tuned into a marathon series of the third season of series 13 of Bravo. Numerous fans. People ask me all the time and say, "Will you ever bring it back?" He said on Instagram, blah blah blah. The reason that we let it go was I remember the ratings went down toward the end of the season. He recalled, which never happens. Like it went down for the reunion. If it's going down towards the end, that's just never a good sign. But anyway, I hear your love all the time and really appreciate the show and women. So yes, it was. This one was actually canceled. Like DC was canceled, but
Hmm.
the people love Miami and people were pissed. People were so pissed that it was canceled that they brought it back.
Well, as long as it comes back, when is it going to start though, or has it already gone on Peacock?
I have Peacock and I haven't checked. I'll check though. I was waiting for normally they would drop a trailer or something, right? At least they would advertise it on there somewhere.
Well, they're doing more talk about. Wait, have they shown the Housewife All Star yet?
I haven't seen it yet.
But yet they're filming season 2 of it up at Bluestone Manor.
Right. Yeah,
No damn sense.
none.
Mm-mm. Okay, so did they? Oh, okay. So next, we're moving on to the Real Housewives of New York City, season 13, episode 15. Being and Ramoaning.
Mm.
This show was problematic for me.
I was mad. I was mad because Archie's home was disrespected.
Yes, inside and outside.
Real quick, let me answer this real quick. My apologies. Jamal, do you have any more tea on KJ and Todd Chrisley? Ebony, nothing really new has come out. It's still progressing. But I do know I've seen this on Twitter that KJ has another lawsuit coming from Steve McRae. It's out there. This is another one in conjunction with the Todd Chrisley lawsuit. So KJ is now going to probably have two pending lawsuits at the same time, and Todd Chrisley and Steve McRae have been speaking on Twitter, and allegedly there's three more people going to sue her. But we may have to do I might have to do a video on that down the later this week. I'll talk to Debbie about it. Debbie's the producer, everybody. Just so y'all know, Debbie is our producer and creative director. I
Look in the
merely
look in the private chat. I just sent you something. Ouch. Okay, so what are you blaming on me now? Nothing. Okay. So who are we starting with on, and that's the
ooh,
that's the article? Yeah,
backpedaling,
right. Because that's what I said. Up to
backpedaling.
yesterday, I was hearing this, and this is Bravo's official stance
That is
on
hilarious.
on it. That's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying.
That is so funny. Like, really?
Yes.
We're gonna uncancel it so we bringing it back. No, you cannot do that. Fail.
Yep.
Fail
So
and you fail. Just saying.
Okay. So, all right. So, who are we starting with on this episode? I'm sorry. This is
Oof.
just so stupid.
I let's just start with Ebony. I felt so bad for her. I
She
felt
lost
really bad for her.
control of that whole situation. I don't think she's ever encountered anything like that in her life. And
Mm-mm.
kudos to her friends for not going all the way off, especially that young lady who was recounting her birth story.
Oof. Oh my goodness. What's her name? Lenara?
I think so.
I
I
think it's
think
Lenara.
so. I only remember Brian because he was so entertaining for me. I want him to be a housewife so badly, just for the shady looks. But Ramona and Sonia, and I love Sonia dearly, but Ramona and Sonia ruined this dinner. There was no controlling them. There was no hurting them. There was no saving the situation. Archie was dumbstruck at points. The catering team was like, why is this woman in here? How many plates did she touch? Who was eating after that? Like, oh God.
But hold on, the
And
fact that she
then,
even went in there and literally picked up the plate, picked it. No, no, first she was eating off the plate on the counter over other people's plates, mind you. Let's talk about that. Let's not forget that eating over other people's plates. Then she was picking. Then she picked up the plate, ate over people's plates, and then took the plate. And I was just like, oh. And I felt bad for the catering staff because they didn't know what to do because she was a guest.
yeah, well, I agree with you when you and I were talking earlier, and you said Archie should have put them out. As the host, she had every right to, but you're also stuck because there's a big old camera crew there filming
Right,
you.
of course, of
You
course.
know, there are other guests there. You don't want to seem like a bee in front of Ebony's guests. Like, she was really stuck. If the camera crew wasn't there, I can guarantee you she would have thrown everybody out. And when Sonia was pissing in her driveway, I'm sure she would have turned the hose on her, just like any other stray dog pissing in your driveway. That's all I'm saying. But there were camera crews there, and it kind of screws around with your real
Right.
reactions until you're so mad or so out of it that you forget that the cameras are there. Um, it was a disaster, and it should not have been. It could have been preventable. It should have been prevented. And
Mm.
all certain people needed to do was keep their mouth shut and just actually listen for once. Um, Sonia going all out on Ramona. She didn't say anything that was a lie to me.
Right.
Wrong place, wrong time.
Severely wrong place, wrong time.
And then everybody's going to discount what you said because you was inebriated.
Exactly.
And that
I
was it.
mean, I was embarrassed for Ebony. Ramona was atrocious.
Mm-hmm.
Sonia was just out of pocket and ridiculous. Leah, she had a good scene with, you know, the baby daddy. Talking about like make sure they're on the same page for the schools. I get that. Rob is his name. I keep forgetting
Mm-hmm.
his name.
Mm-hmm.
He made a good point. Like, why are we sending our daughter to high school at college prices? And I was with
Mm-hmm.
him on that. I was
Mm-hmm.
so here for him with that. So this is why we both bust our behind, so we can give her opportunities that we never had. I'm like, I mean, I get that, but think about it. You're paying 60K.
That's
So
how much her school year is going to cost?
I want to say for the 4 years. I'm assuming.
Oh, for the 4 year. Oh,
Yes,
I didn't
which
know they
means
had it like that.
which
That's so
which well her Bravo check will cover it. But we know that's what it is. The Bravo
Yeah,
chick
but
going for
can
that.
she put that into like an account for the actual college? Like, what's I went to high school in Manhattan. It was a public high school. There's nothing wrong with me. I mean,
No, I
slightly.
mean I think with Leah, I think she's she just wants to give her daughters the opportunity that she didn't really have, or maybe she messed up. So I mean, I get it, but then you have to really look at like, is the money? Is she going to be that much better from going to the school than anyone else? I mean, now if you're the way I see it, if you're going to send her to one of these schools, it has to be a pipeline into an Ivy League school. That's where I could see the value. If she had like if she wants to go to a Harvard or a Yale or Cornell, I could see her sending one to those schools to where because colleges do look like where you went to school. It's what they do because
Mm-hmm.
they check your transcripts. Maybe some schools like to take kids from other certain schools. So but it has to be for that reason only. You just wanted her to send her to get experience. No, she can get experience in college. I'm just saying.
I think she's sending her to the school, and don't get mad at me for saying this, for the networking.
Of course. Why else would you do it? It's
Just
the
for
truth. She's
networking
trying to she. But here's the thing with Leah. She's
for
presented
both of
herself,
them.
but she's presented herself as this downtown girl,
Mm-hmm.
anti this, blah blah blah. Right? You know, she wants to
Mm-hmm.
be the cool girl. But baby, if you have some elitist tendencies or you want to social climb, please own it.
I don't think I think it's all business networking for her, because remember on her website, it's a lot of collaborations with other companies.
Right.
I think that this is a good networking opportunity for her and her business
Mm-hmm.
via Kiki, and then Kiki hopefully can make, those long lasting friendships that we have from high school that carry us through the years
Of
in
course.
that way.
I just want her
um
to own that. Own that though. Own that.
she'll never
That's
do
all.
that. She'll never do
Montana asks, is it true that some of those kids are extremely stressed out? Yes, because those schools tend to be extremely competitive due to expectations that are placed upon them by their parents. If they're sending you to a school that costs 15 to 20K a year, they expect a return on their investment. And that return on that investment is the child networking with other, well-to-do kids and their families, and then getting into a very good school, preferably Ivy League, to make those connections there that will lead them into the professional world. So yes, those kids are stressed out, in my opinion.
that.
Have you guys ever, Montana? Have you ever seen that show on Bravo called NYC Prep? It's a way back in the day show.
You talk about that all the time.
I'm
That
telling
and High
you,
Society. Is it High Society? No,
that's
that's
that's,
not the
that's
name of it.
no, High Society is with Tinsley Mortimer.
Right.
Um,
No,
but
but
she was
those
running
two
around.
shows you talk about a
Yes,
lot. Yeah.
Tinsley was running around town acting a fool with Deborah Rose. Yeah, that was a whole mess. But
Mm.
High Society in NYC Prep is about kids who actually go to these schools in New York. And if you watch that show, it's on Bravo, on the Bravo website. It'll give you a kind of a glimpse into what really what goes on. And them kids, some of them was kind of stressed out and acting a fool. It was a solid show. I don't know why it got canceled. I thought it was entertaining.
Maybe their parents watched it and put the kibosh on
But probably they
it.
probably like y'all here running around New York looking wild, making us look crazy. Nah, stop it.
Oh my god. So all right. So wait, who have we talked about?
I think Luann's the last one.
Okay.
Luann was good in this episode. I liked Luann. I liked the scene with her and Ramona, where she let
You know
Ramona
why?
know
Because
about
the
herself.
Countess showed up and explained proper etiquette. Unfortunately, she was talking to a door jamb because Ramona deflected and started saying that Sonia was a drunk and that she's worried about her.
And that's why, and I'm not, I'm anti cancel culture. I don't want to see anyone canceled unless over criminal things. I'm gonna put that out there. Ramona, this episode really kind of took me over the edge with Ramona. I just could not do it with the behavior, and Luann told her exactly what it was, and it's insane. It's insane that she acted that way in someone's home.
Mm-hmm.
I, I, I shouldn't have been shocked, but I was shocked.
Mm-hmm. What did you think about the come to Jesus between Ebony and Sonia when they met up and she was advised by Archie? Archie called Ebony and told her what Sonia did in the driveway. What did you think about that little come to Jesus meeting?
Um, Sonia. Sonia has some deeper issues she needs to work on because she's not comprehending. It's like she's not really comprehending the things that she needs to hear.
I will give Sonia credit for the stand up piss. It's like she's an expert at that. And then I was like, wait, she ain't got on no drawers?
Remember, like a couple seasons ago, she said sometimes Sonia has to go commando. What can I say?
Oh my
That was her
God.
tagline.
Oh,
And can we give a shout out to Marley for stealing the prosciutto off the tray?
Marley ate all of it.
Marley was not playing.
Marley ate all of it. And then came up on the couch and was like, so what, bitch? Let me breathe on you so you can smell what you ain't
Right,
eat.
right. That was hilarious. That was just too funny.
Oh my God. Yeah, this was a whole mess. I felt though like the show was very scattered for me. It was very random.
Yeah,
It was, the dinner itself was a roller coaster going off the rails. It really was. But then the rest of the show also was that way. It felt like pieces of a puzzle that didn't really fit together. Um, oh, we did see the results for Ebony's ancestry
that's
thing.
right. I almost forgot about
Yeah.
that. Three
And
potential matches.
yeah, but the lady says of the three, there's one that she thinks could be it because of the birth year is most closest to her mom, and that there is he's married with three daughters, I think. And one of the youngest daughters, she said, between the dad and the youngest daughter look a lot like Ebony. Do you think we're going to get to see them on the show?
It would be nice.
Mm. Okay. All right. So anything else that happened on the episode that we need to talk about?
On this one, no, we're good. 'Cause it was just.
Okay. All right. So now we're off to the Real Housewives of Beverly Hills, season 11, episode 13, Seasons Grillings. Ugh. Okay. You can direct this one. I don't even care anymore.
I mean, this was a good episode. Plain and simple.
Was.
I mean, let's start with Dorit and her backpedaling and pussy popping all over the screen because she threw Sutton under the bus. I was
She
teaching
did.
Dorit, like I'm a guest Dorit. You saying all the right things. I was clapping for Dorit, but then when she got in front of Erica and completely threw her under the bus, I'm like, for real.
Mm-hmm.
And this is what we're doing. But I will say this: I'm glad Garcelle called her out in front of everybody.
Mm-hmm.
Like that's not what you were saying the other night. Quit playing.
Mm-hmm.
And now I see why Dorit was mad on social media with Garcelle.
Mm-hmm.
You got mad because Garcelle called you out. Now I see why you upset.
Mm-hmm.
And she was right to call you out because that was ridiculous. Because you have
Yeah.
so much to say about the orphans, and I can't believe it. He misappropriated $2 million in funds and blah blah blah. But in front of Erica, well, like we're here to support
Support
you.
you, and we believe you of these accusations. Girl, shut up. Like, and let's call a thing though. After that meeting that they had at Dorit's house, Lisa got Dorit and Kyle together and said, listen, girls, we are not doing this with our friend Erica. And you notice that Lisa was at the Christmas dinner at Kyle's house holding the line. Yep. She was the center. She was the center in front of the quarterback, Erica. And she was rallying Dorit and right. Kyle to be the rest of her defensive line.
But Kyle, if you looked at it, Kyle wasn't having it.
No, because Kyle kept on looking at Kathy, who was at the top of the table like this. Girl, right. Get it together. Get it together, girl. We're not getting called to court for this. Not my Hilton money.
Exactly. Dorit, I mean, this is easy. This is an easy episode to go through character by character because we've already touched on Dorit and her flip flopping. We just touched on Lisa Rinna. She was ultimate defense. I'm not mad. She was like, we have to believe in Erica because there's no reason not to, and we have to let it play out.
But she didn't have that brave last season.
No. Which makes me think, like, did Erica really, give you some money for your makeup line? I just want to know.
But Lisa went on Watch What Happens Live and says that she is closest to Erica than anybody else on the cast, and she considers Erica a true friend, not like Denise and Garcelle.
Yeah. There's some money. To me, in my opinion, there's some money in change hands somewhere in there. So Lisa's playing ultimate defense, protect Erica at all costs. She did a great job, but the problem is you got Kathy Hilton there, and nobody was having it though, and that was the hilarious part. This is what kind of shocked me. Which leads me into Kyle. When Kyle actually asked some of the tough questions, stuck to it, and actually gave her honest opinion, I'm like, hold up. Where have you been since season 3? Where has this Kyle been?
Kathy, you noticed that Kathy was strategic. I was wondering the whole time, why is Kathy at the head of the table at Kyle's house?
Right.
But she had direct eye contact with her. Kathy said nothing, but she was running that dinner, specifically Kyle. Because I think she had a good idea what Lisa was all about. Lisa. I don't think she's not playing that game with her where her sister's concerned.
No, because Kyle was forthright. She asked the hard questions. I'm like, good job, Kyle. I didn't ever think I was going to say that, but great job, because you're not going to let her get away with this, especially because and let's be honest, I think I can't remember who brought it up, but I think Erica said, like, oh, how many of you have, like, gotten legal advice? And pretty much they all said, yes, we all have. Everybody.
But Dorit should have kept her mouth shut, because she's like, I talked to PK, and then Bravo So Shady. She talked to PK and Boy George. That was her legal advice. Girl, bye.
Her legal team. What? No. Stop it. PK should not be your legal representation. That should not be who you go to for legal advice. I mean, just put it out there. Just put it out there. So Kyle did the right thing.
But you notice that Kyle said, oh, I spoke to Faye's husband, who's an attorney.
Right. Kyle was not playing. Neither is Kathy. Kyle's riding with Kathy this season. Good job.
But we heard about this. How much you want to bet that not to cross you, but how much you want to bet Faye's husband gave her the questions to ask and how to ask them? I don't give Kyle that much credit.
Fair. But we did hear about this preseason though, where Kathy was not feeling with Lisa Rinna. And she wanted Kyle to get away from all that. I'm like, okay. And now it's coming into play of what's going on. Now I understand. Because Kyle, this is not the same Kyle we've seen previous seasons. This is she's giving her honest opinion and saying what she needs to say, and I appreciate it. And I do
Mm-hmm.
want to segue to Crystal because Crystal was like,
She was
hold
all
up.
about the timeline.
But did you see how she pieced that timeline together properly?
Mm-hmm.
And when she said, but some of the stuff was pre 3 years ago, so that's where it's not adding up.
Did you notice? I don't know if it was with Crystal or with Sutton, but when the I think it was the Lion Air issue, which was 10, I think that's the one that's 10 years ago. Is that it?
10 years ago was
No,
the gas. The
the gas explosion.
yes.
Okay, so whichever one was 10 years ago that Crystal was bringing up, um, Erica's rebuttal to that was, but it's being litigated now. But the thievery took place 10 years ago. That's what we're trying to
Right.
say.
Right.
Oh, child. I'm going to say this. That whole dinner, it made me feel like Lisa gave her the heads up on what was coming. So she
Mhm.
came there in a very sedated frame of mind. You saw that she just let out a big sigh when she was getting out of the car to come in. She came in, I just need to get through this. I just need to get through this. Let me answer these questions because I know they're coming. These bitches. Let me just get through this. And she went in there and she was ready for all of those questions regarding the article. And she
Mhm.
almost lost it with Sutton when she was like, saying, it seems like you've read it all 3 times and da da da. Like, girl, stop. These are questions that true friends would ask you.
Right. Ebony makes a good point. I don't feel like Erica showing any anger towards Tom. Someone brought that up in the show as well. So
Mm-hmm.
that's a very Ebony. This is a very good comment.
Mm-hmm.
I don't feel like Erica showing any anger toward Tom for getting in her in these legal matters. It looks like her anger is toward her castmates and production. Exactly.
Mm-hmm. Well, again, this is why someone is saying, like, they brought up the question, are you talking to any attorneys and are they giving you guidance on how to deal with this? I don't think that was an unfair question, Miss Dorrit, because the
No, it's not.
attorneys that she's getting guidance from is Tom and them.
Yeah, exactly. So after Crystal, let's go to Garcelle. I'm gonna. I'm Garcelle. I mean, I didn't see any mistakes in her this episode. It
Mm-mm.
was so good to see her family all together. Her oldest son, the newest grandbaby. You know,
Yeah, yeah.
like
They were nice. They were nice. Did you see the food? Did you see the food? The
yes.
grill looked it good, and that macaroni pie was everything. Gang
I
smell.
love Debbie. Debbie's like, you know what? This family was cool. I was worried, like I was trying to give everyone in the chat like a build up to the food. I was
No,
getting there.
no. I was looking for pickles, but they flashed away too quickly. Oh my god, the food looked good though. It
and
did.
when Garcelle said like, Haitian cooking is not about no measuring. No, we don't do all that. We just do
You
what we
don't.
do, and you just taste it and keep it moving. I'm like, yeah,
Mhm.
that's true.
Mhm.
That's true.
Oh, that was so good. That would
I
go
wanted
Garcelle.
I wanted the plantains though, because I've never had them. But
You
the
never
place
had
looking.
plantain?
Mm-mm,
Shut up.
mm-mm. Okay, let me take that back. I tried them one time, and I will preface this by saying it wasn't a place that is like authentic cooking. You know what I mean?
Mhm.
So our friends, oh, try these. I'm like, okay, what are they? Plantains? I'll try them. They weren't good, and I've never been to a place where I tried them again because when I have a bad experience with like what I call ethnic food,
Uh-huh.
um I won't try it again unless I go to like an authentic restaurant to try it right. So I just never had them again. That's all.
How were they prepared?
They were they weren't good. It's like
Were they fried?
they were fried,
Uh-huh.
but they weren't fried correctly, in my opinion. Like,
You
have you
can't
ever
go
had?
wrong with frying a plantain.
It wasn't fried all the way through.
Oh.
So yeah, it was a turn off. So I'm not
Okay.
against trying them again. I just want to try them at an actual place that knows how to cook them properly.
Mm. Well,
That's what I really.
you gotta try fried plantain, which is the ripe one, and then you gotta try tostones, which is like the Cuban version of doing it. But I think those are like green plantain, and then you gotta try mofongo, which is like the Puerto Rican. That's a whole different experience, kind of right there. You just need to come to Florida and just taste everything because we got a little bit of everything down here.
I know. Yeah, no, I'll probably have to go down when it's not hurricane season, like
Oh,
season. So you know what I mean.
you mean like right now? Okay.
No, thank you. Um, but the food was just fantastic. The family was
Hmm.
great. But then when
Hmm.
she got to the dinner though,
Hmm.
um, that's what it was. Thank you. I couldn't
Bitter
find the
is
word.
not.
It was not fried. It was bitter.
Oh.
It was bitter. Thank you. That was I was trying to. I couldn't really describe it. That's what it was.
Oh, child, no.
Yeah. So I wasn't mad at the plantain. I was mad at the people who cooked it. Um,
Yeah, don't do that. Don't go there again.
Never. So Garcelle was at the dinner.
Hmm.
Like she laid it out. I mean, she was calling people out left and right. I'm like, this is what I'm talking about. Because she wasn't gonna let Sutton take all the heat for that when they were all there saying the same thing.
I'll give her credit with also redirecting the focus of anger towards Tom and bringing the focus onto the victims when she
Hmm.
told the story about her sister and the her kidney transplant that didn't go 100% right, and how her attorney strung her along with the payout. um I thought she brought that right back where it needed to be,
Agreed.
you know. They Someone should be angry at Tom, so if it isn't going to be his wife, it'll be her. And she said F Tom, and she sees it from the perspective of the victim who's been gypped, you
Exactly.
know.
Loved her. She was just so spot on,
Mm-hmm.
and she handles herself. And I like the fact that she didn't go and speak to Erica and say hello. Like
Hmm.
she wasn't like it's like she wasn't begging for Erica's attention.
I'm
So I
sorry
appreciate
about
that.
that.
It's okay. So I appreciated that
Mm-hmm.
because I think it was a Dorit or someone. I was like, oh, like have you said hi to Erica? She's like, no.
No, it was Sutton.
It was it
Sutton
was it was
leaned
a sudden.
over when they were like in the lounge before dinner
Gotcha.
and
Okay. Thank you.
asked her, and she was like, no. But I'm not scared of her either. She's willing to be civil because she knows she didn't do anything on purpose or to hurt her. But she's also giving her space
Hmm.
and letting her be the one to dictate how they move forward.
Again, spot
Hmm.
on.
Very grown up approach to the situation. Um, since we're still on Garcelle, why did she show up to Kyle's Christmas dinner looking like something that came out of my paper shredder?
Hmm. Yeah. I mean, she could wear. My
Garcelle.
thing is she could wear different versions of that lavender confessional on every episode, just like a variation. I would be here for it. But
Okay.
let's be honest though. We may not like the fashion, but
I just love her.
she
Yeah.
always looks good.
Mhm.
It doesn't matter what she's wearing. She just looks good.
Mhm.
Period. It is what it is.
Yeah. Oh, and Crystal looked lovely in her black
Crystal is
outfit,
stunning.
looking all sexy, putting the goodies
But
out.
when she said Rob, well, Rob picked it out. I was like, oh,
Hint, hint.
right?
Hint, hint. Garcelle has fashion problems.
Not problems.
Wait, Wait, Shady, you like her outfit? It really suited her. Wait, who outfit? Who we talking about?
I think she's talking
Garcelle
about Chris. I
or
think she's talking about Chris. Was it
you talking
Crystal or
about Crystal,
Garcelle?
right? And she busted out the long fur. She had on a fur coat, right? I mean, I was loving it.
Yeah.
Crystal looked good. Oh Lord, why didn't they edit that scene when Erica came in and sat down in the lounge in her miniskirt and you saw straight up her crotch?
Oh, I must have been doing something else. I missed that.
Well, that's a shame that I saw that and you didn't.
That is a whole mess if they didn't edit that. If they didn't edit that out, they're a whole mess for that.
Oh, she likes Garcelle's outfit. Kadir. Okay. I don't know. I just thought it made her. She's already a statuesque woman, right? In comparison to some of the other ladies on this team, like her and Crystal, I think are the tallest.
Mm-hmm.
And I just thought it was like a lot, especially on the top.
Right.
And then it went really skinny on the bottom. I don't know. Yes, Ebony, it did harken back to Pantygate. Am I reopening that? No. What else happened? Okay, here's the difference. Okay, you notice I'm not really that focused on Kyle's food because yes, it was okay. It looked presentable. I didn't understand why her plates were spinning on the charger. It was very distracting to me. It was almost like one of those fancy hubcaps you get at, I don't know, Pimp My Ride. Erica's sex appeal will not help in court. That's true.
Yeah, no.
That's true.
She needs to come in. I'm telling you. This is how, Erica, if you're listening to this, this is how you come to court. You come in like a nice, cute little suit dress, modest, minimal makeup. We're talking about like you may not even put on foundation. This is minimum. You need to come in looking as homely as possible, and you should be wearing like ready to wear like Kim Kardashian or something. Some of those people. Nothing labeled. You need to be coming in homely looking and broke but presentable.
Homely looking, broke but presentable.
Yeah, I'm telling you.
Take a bath and put on a hefty bag. I don't know where.
I was just saying, but you know, you can go to Walmart or Target to get her a cute little outfit.
I'm here thinking Macy's. You want her to go to Walmart or Target?
Yes.
Oh,
we're talking like she needs to look like the real regular folk. She cannot come in with anything labeled. Nothing. No.
Oh my God! You're not late, sunshinery.
Drugstore makeup. I'm telling you, no MAC, no Maybelline, none of that.
No makeup at all because we want to see the dark circles under her eyes. You know how she's stressing. I love how Garcelle shares her son's story with us, and the family look real happy. Yes, Ebony, that's very true. You know, I like to see her whole family together, and I like to hear her backstory. It's very relatable,
right?
But yet aspirational as well, and how she's overcome a lot of trials and tribulations in her life. I like her family; they're cool, And Teddy, why did they invite Teddy?
Oh, real quick. Now the Lori chick is tips on how to just. Yes, I'm subscribed to her channel. Ebony, love her. She's great.
Oh,
she is great.
Okay.
And yes, I mean I got the alert. I'm going to actually watch this later.
Okay. Click on Shady. Yeah. I almost I couldn't understand why Kyle keeps on trying to invite Teddy somewhere.
Oh, auditioning.
I don't care. Even though what she said kind of made sense to me, it was just because Teddy was saying it, I tuned out.
Yeah. I mean, it's like, Teddy, why are you up here making good points when you didn't do this when you were on the show? Just saying.
Yeah. Oh, who was Kyle calling Awkward Spice to? Was she calling Erica Awkward Spice?
I don't know.
I thought it was cute when she said it, but I was like, wait, you was just talking to Erica. You calling her Awkward Spice?
Right.
But then again, she said that her whole dinner was awkward.
Yeah, and she was correct. I'm just saying. Oh
Oh
yeah,
my
of course. She's thirsty to be back on the show. Oh yeah, oh yeah, because she was real hurt when she got dropped, or no, wasn't asked to return.
see. I liked it that Sutton went up to Dory at the end of that fiasco of a dinner and said, "Did you throw me under the bus?" And she
Right.
did. She did throw her under the
I
bus.
mean, she felt that bad boy over premium, threw Sutton under, ran over her once, backed up again, and then ran over her twice.
Okay, so Steven thinks that the situation was awkward, Spice, but Shady agrees with me that she's referring to Erica as awkward Spice.
I mean, I agree, but back to the bus. Yeah, she put premium up in that bus to make sure it was she ran over good.
Wow. I don't
Oh,
know.
Steven. Oh,
Mhm.
Steven said that they came in while they were talking about her. Yeah, that tends to always happen.
Oof. Sutton confrontish.
Oh yeah, Sutton. I'm liking
Uh-huh.
Sutton more and more because she went straight to her. It's like, did you just throw a sister just up under the like completely under, can't be seen?
Mhm.
I don't when Doritha. I don't think I'm like when somebody just slap her now. Just I'm not promoting violence, but Dorit in that situation needs to be slapped for lying like that.
But Sutton in her confessional, she says she felt like she was set up. Like a lot of people flip-flopped on what they were saying at Dorrit's house,
But honestly, though, it was
with the
really
exception
only
of Lisa.
Dorit. You know what? Here's the thing: the
Mhm.
only people who really flipped. Now, Lisa Rinna was in on that too. She was
Mhm.
trying to straddle, but she was in on that too. Let's not play those games.
Mhm.
But
Mhm.
who flip flopped were really it was only Dorit and Lisa in front of Erica. Everyone else stayed to their opinion.
Mhm.
Crystal did because she called it straight up. That timeline wasn't right. Garcelle did. It's
I
about the victims.
actually
Complain.
think Kyle was a little bit stronger at the dinner than she
Kyle was
was.
much more comfortable
Yeah.
because she was
Well,
in her own home.
she was in
Kathy
her
was there,
own home.
and Kathy was there.
Kathy was there, but I also think she was digesting at Dorrit's house. Like things were
Right.
really being explained to her. And then she went and spoke to her legal counsel, Faye's
Mhm.
husband,
Right.
and realized the jeopardy that she could be in, and realized, well, Meshuggah, my husband already in sort of hot water. Why am
Right.
I going to increase the temperature with this heifer?
Right.
So let me just break it down while we cut up the turkey
So
at my house.
Sudden it wasn't that you were set up. It's like the people who are doing the most of the talkings are the one that flip flop. That's what it was.
Mhm.
Because remember, Dorit and Lisa did most of the talking
Yeah.
outside of Sutton. I'll put it that way.
But it's you know how they always say that she talked too much? A lot of what she was saying to me was word garbage.
It was. It was.
She was ranting over and over again about the orphans and the widows, and say
Mhm.
what you trying to say, girl.
Right. Don't try to clean it up now. And then Steve Chris, they all trying like they didn't call lawyers. But then when Erica called them out, she's like,
Mm-hmm.
well, how many we? And they were all like, sure did. I really think they all copped to it. Like, yeah, sure did. What? What you gotta
Oh my
say?
god! But they also tried to get to throw something further under the bus and probably
Hmm.
into the gas tank at this point when they were like, "Well, you're saying that it was only about your reputation," and
Hmm.
she was like, "Damn tootin'." she's on the board of this and she is the president of that and she's in business and she has a lot to protect, including her reputation. Like, I feel Sutton's one of those people who firmly believes you're nothing without a good reputation.
Oh yeah, she pretty much said so.
Mm-hmm.
But when Dorit said, what killed me was when Dorit said, like, well, Sutton wanted us all meet at her house. Was it Dorit or was it Lisa Rinna? I think it was Dorit that said, like, Sutton wanted us to all meet up and blah 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 blah. I'm like,
Yeah, it was Dorit who
yeah.
was the one who said, Sutton was the one who wanted all of us to get together and talk about this without you. And I was like, why that had to come up? Not that Erica didn't already know, because her little pimp daddy Munchkin, Lisa, done told her that before she even got there.
I'm sure Lisa was texting her through the conversation.
No, I think Lisa's going to pay attention to everything. And then as soon as she hits into the car,
Fair.
leaving, then she's going to be hot on the phone. You're never going to guess what happened.
And this is who all was there.
Mm-hmm. And this is what went down. And this is what's going to happen at Kyle's house. And I'll keep you updated as I get more information from Kyle.
Well, I don't tell you what I said. But carry on.
Mm-hmm.
But who else was here for Sutton? So like, yeah, she's all like, I care about me first.
Mm-hmm.
I'm like, well, you better speak on it.
Exactly. Who else she's supposed to care about other than herself and her children?
She's when she said, I am more important to me than Erica, I'm like, you know what? You better speak on that.
No truer words have been said. Oh, and did we touch on the comment of the night from Queen Kathy?
No, we haven't touched on it yet.
Okay, I'm gonna leave that to you.
But Erica's like, somebody said like, oh well, these are the
Kyle.
I think what Kyle's was like,
Kyle said, I hate all of the questions.
And then Kathy said like, it's good practice. I was like, well, she ain't lied.
Yep, it's good practice. Oh my God. Wait, one more question for you about Dorit. Towards the end, was she saying a prayer for Erica at the table?
I don't remember it.
It sounds like... Okay, it was after the part where the producers were talking to Erica in the confessional, talking about how strong she was. And then they go back to the scene at the dinner table. And it sounds almost as if Dorit is saying some sort of prayer for Erica. And then that's when Kyle says, sorry that there were so many questions. And then Kathy goes in and says that it's good practice. And then they break for dessert. Dorit needs to stop talking.
Exactly. Real quick. Steven says, Renna might be holding some stuff for Erica, in my opinion, allegedly. Steven, I feel that I'm on the same wavelength, but more so, I think Erica invested in Renna Beauty.
They asked her that on Watch What Happens Live, and they put the clip of that question on YouTube because that's where I saw it, and she denies it. She's on record, y'all. Renna denies it. Mm-hmm. And look, Ebony said she called Jesus' name at the table. It did sound a prayer-like.
I'll go with that. Shady says she's definitely doing something for her. Exactly. They're protecting something. Ebony says this episode is 10 out of 10. It hasn't been this good as LVP left. Mm-hmm. I agree. This episode, I was here for this episode.
Shady gave it a 9.5.
Mm-hmm. Walmart has their game. Yes, they have, Laura. They have. I'm telling you, she can get a little fit from Target, some fits from Walmart. Come in looking like regular folk. Do the best of what you can. Steven Crisco says walking around in jeans and a white t-shirt, humble, never happened. Shay D says I'm 9.5. Sunshinery says I was eating my ice cream. Like, damn, this is good. Team Crisco, all the questions are good practice. I screamed at that one. I'm sorry, I did.
Mm-hmm. And translation, it was a holding company that invested in different companies. Ooh, child.
mm.
But again, back to Sutton and that forensic accountant to investigate all of this.
But do you recall was it Sutton who brought up the 20 million? Talking about
Yes,
was it one lump? Was it over time? What's going on with
yes,
her? And
yes,
and you're like talking about like and she when she said like so you're trying to tell me he kept your own LLC papers
yes.
away from you? She
The
goes
books.
that would make me crazy. She's all Erica's like
Mhm.
it did. I'm like okay here we go. I'm like
You have
no
your own LLC, but yet you don't have
have
access
the
to the
papers
book. How is that possible?
right.
How and again it goes back, no truer words have been said by Sutton than saying claiming ignorance is not an excuse.
Right.
You cannot have a company and not know where funds are coming and going. Like, are you
Either because
serious?
my thing with her saying that it's either a he's forging your signature because you have to when it's your LLC you have to sign off
Mm-hmm.
or B you were complicit. It has to be one or the other in my opinion.
Was she the only officer in her LLC, or is he on there too?
Not
Because
sure.
if he's on there, it's a possibility that he can. No, but then if both of you are on there, then both have to sign. I don't know. I wonder why Crystal says that she has a problem with food. The camera always catching her eating. Maybe no. Didn't she have a problem as a teenager? And it's kind of like any addiction, or you have it for life. You just have to know how to control it. I think
Yeah.
that's what it is. Um, you're wrong
Let's
because
see.
you're. And then, oh, what Lisa says, you know, before Erica gets there, she's like, remember, girls, she's innocent until proven guilty. We need more evidence to see how this
Right.
plays out. You did not do that last year with your friend Denise, and she was your friend of 20 years. You've known Erica for 5 minutes.
LLC Erica's like legal exactly. That's my thing. Either that's why I say either he forged your
Mhm,
signature
mhm,
or you knew. With that situation, it's
mhm.
one or the other. It can't be both. It can't be both.
I
It
think
can't be
she
both.
knew, and maybe that's why she's doing what his attorneys are saying by spinning this narrative. You
hmm
know,
I think they would both have to sign. If they're both on it, yes.
yeah, yeah. There's
Erica
no
has
way
more than
around this.
ooh.
There's
Erica has more than one
Yep.
LLC. She said one. Yep, I did hear about that one.
hmm Well, if her assets were frozen in December and she set up the new one, that one would still be open and accessible, or would the court go after that to freeze it too?
Mm, her assets are frozen, so basically her bank accounts are frozen. But the LLC, if it was set up afterwards, then she would have access to that money.
Mm-hmm.
I used to think the son was gullible, but she's making the right move, setting herself apart. She's a businesswoman, so I'm not too shocked. But I definitely see where you're coming from on that one. Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
the way she came across the first season because she was new,
Mm-hmm.
but we're seeing the true set now. She's like, I got my diamond now, and I can go in on y'all.
Mm-hmm.
Didn't Crystal say she about anorexia? I think yes, but she's managing it, I believe.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
And then the only ladies that didn't flip flop were Sutton, Garcon, and Crystal. In my opinion, agree. Yep, facts. Oh my God, she didn't. By Sunshinery. Uh, Ebony says Rena didn't say that night that they got together. Right. Yeah, Lisa Rinna was all in the mess too. But of
Mm-hmm.
course, when you're the one running stuff back, you're going to leave out what you said
Mm-hmm.
most of the time. Me, if well, personally, I don't run things back because I think it's inappropriate. But if I do, I'm sure they'll tell you what I said. Because like my thing, I figured I said like if I leave it out, you're gonna hear about it anyway. So let me just tell you what I said. Look, this is what I said, and I meant it. You could stay mad, be mad, but either way, I said it.
Oh gosh.
Exactly word garbage when it comes to Dorit. Yeah,
Yeah.
but Debbie came up with the
Yeah.
perfect phrase for the hashtag word garbage.
It's like a lot of nothing. Oof. Or as an old boss of mine used to say, Deborah, don't don't be all fart and no shite.
Gosh, wow.
That'd be when I'm making excuses why
Right.
something wasn't done. Yeah. Used to
I
shut me
never,
down right away.
I never made excuses. I would just say like, you know what? Hey, Jamal, this done. Nope. Why not? Didn't get to it. Why did you get to it? Because you asked me to do this and this. You didn't mark this as priority, so it didn't get done. Oh, I'm gonna make no excuse. It didn't get done. Period. Get out of here.
This was back in my 20s when I was not really caring.
All right.
So I start making excuses.
mhm.
Oh my God.
Are
We'll go
we?
after. No, it's both. So married and assets were frozen. Oh, they're still married and her assets were
Oh,
frozen.
they know of. Okay.
Oh, okay, 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 okay. Good point,
Thank you.
Montana.
So they would so anything that she starts, anything financial she starts, it will be frozen.
Yeah,
That's
because
so.
look, she could start the LLC, right? But you need money to do that. Where are the funds coming from if your funds, because all of their assets were either impounded or frozen,
Mhm.
right?
Right.
um you're opening up an LLC. Hi, Ethel. Like, where's it coming from? That's all. That's all. This was a good episode. I did like
Oh
it.
yeah.
I did like it. The food though, go Garcelle.
So are we good?
Yes. At the doctor's office. Oh, I hope you're okay, Ethel. Oh. And yet her rent is being paid, the court asks, and she hasn't answered. Well, maybe she got, maybe Bravo is deducting a portion of her wages to secure the rent on that place for filming.
From what I understood, when they froze your account, they would give you enough money for living expenses. The way I understood it, that's the way I understood it. Like they froze everything, but they would give you money for the essentials.
Yeah, because I've heard. I think it was you and somebody else who've said that. Okay, so she wouldn't be out on the streets.
No, right.
Okay, okay. She's got a secret account somewhere.
Of course.
Put an N on the S. Sorry, put an S on the end of that account. I think it's multiple, and they're all linked to Tom. I don't know why. Oh my gosh, I didn't realize that, Ethel. Thank you so much for sharing, and I hope I didn't know that could happen. Oh dear. Oh well, I hope they figure out a way that it won't, Ethel. Oh. Ronald Rich is looking at how she has money. You
Uh-oh.
notice that she did say when I think this was the first time that she's ever spoken about the victims, and she said, "Oh, I'll be okay. It's I'm not worried
Mm.
about me. I'm last in this, or I come last in this." I think
Mhm.
she said. Why you ain't worried about you, boo? If my
Right.
assets were frozen, I'd be plumb worried about me. I'd be
I'd
in the
probably be.
Sutton boat.
I'd be crying. I think I'd be crying.
And then she's always saying that there's more to come. There's more to come, right? But when Sutton asked you, did you have a heads up on the article? She was like, no. But how do you know there's more to come
Right.
if you don't get heads up, which you do? Because I think you and I talked about this, especially with the articles from reputable newspapers, they will call the person or their representatives and say, we're releasing this article that's saying this,
Mhm.
this, and this. Do you have any comment before we go to press?
Right.
You know? And even when they're investigating, I'm sure they're asking for comments from her legal representatives.
Oh, of
So
course.
she know.
No, quit playing.
That's why she left La Quinta early. It wasn't because of that Chicago hearing. It was about that article. And she didn't want to talk about it then because she needed to get prepped by her attorneys,
Exactly.
aka Tom. Anywho, child, she
Hey,
ain't making.
Fermata.
Hi, Erica's so selfish, too suspicious to me. Yep. Please check out the Up and Adam interview with Ronald Richards. It's gripping.
Yeah, I'm
I
gonna check
think I
that
missed
out
that. Yeah, that came
because
up on my feed today.
if he talking about the money and where it can come from, I need to know where the money comes from because I
Yeah,
just want to know. I'm nosy like that. Like if your stuff is frozen, but you still got money, how'd you get it?
I don't know. Well, anyway, that was like 3 really good housewife shows. Even though New York City was a bit of a disappointing mess with the behaviors. Um yeah, whatever. I still sat down and I watched it. It was like a tennis game, really. So that was the Real Housewives of Potomac, the Real Housewives of New York City, and the Real Housewives of Beverly Hills. Guys, this was a great week for Bravo and their housewife franchises. Any final thoughts, Jamal?
No, if you can make it back, we're gonna have our panel discussion on why YouTube in about 45 minutes. If you can make it back, please join us. It should be a good. It'll be a good conversation.
Yeah. And I
Hold up,
think
hold up,
tonight.
hold up. $1 million Amex card. Excuse you?
Wait, she's charged $1 million on her Amex card? You know, Amex took what's her name, Tori Spelling, to court for far less than that. They don't play. I
No,
hope she could pay for it.
exactly. Or somebody can pay for it.
Oh well. Good luck to you, girl. All right. So, wait, did you say your final thoughts?
Yeah,
I
we're
can't
we're
remember.
good. See
We're
y'all.
good.
Hopefully, see everyone in 45 minutes.
That kind of threw me there for $1 million
Sorry.
on a
Right. I was
Amex.
just.
I got
I
scared.
thought. Yeah, I thought $1 million. Hold up.
That shows you how poor I am. I can't even fathom an Amex bill like that.
I mean, I can fathom it. I just wouldn't want to pay it. I'd probably be crying if I did that. Just saying.
No, no. Like, I would get the poopies.
Right.
All right. So until the next show,
Of course.
bye.
Bye.